a lot of people who get into trucking, well, obviously anyone who gets into trucking for the first time, y'all have no idea what that lifestyle is going to be like, right? And I see so many people make mistakes, and I'm going to give you a suggestion or an example of some of the more common mistakes that I see people that get into trucking. So first off, they go to the very first trucking school they can find, which is always a bad idea, right? So let's say you go to the first trucking school you can find, and you pay $7,000 in tuition. Well, hell, you could have went to a trucking school and paid a third of that. But people don't look. They don't look around. So if you're just getting into trucking, or you're thinking about getting into trucking and you don't have your CDL, my very first suggestion for you, actually my second suggestion for you, we'll talk about my first one here in just a second. My second suggestion for you, the number 2 priority, is you shop around for a trucking school. You should not pay more than $2,000 to $4,000 for a trucking school. You should not. And we're going to talk about how you don't have to pay for any of that here in just a minute. So that's your number 2 priority. Find a trucking school, a reputable one, with the lowest cost of tuition possible. Shop around. You have to shop around. A lot of community colleges have them, and they're cheap as hell. Now let's back up a minute, because I want to talk about my very first suggestion for you before you get into trucking, which should be your number 1 priority. If you are married or in a relationship, and especially if you have children, you have got to get everyone on the same page at home first. Don't take off to go drive trucks when your wife or your fiance or your girlfriend or your children aren't okay with the fact that you're going to be gone the majority of the time. Guys, if you don't trust your wife or your girlfriend to screw around on you, I'm just going to be blunt, while you're out there, you have 2 choices, and you better make one before you leave. Kick them to the curb, which if you don't trust them, I don't know why you want to be with them anyway. Number 2 is, don't do this. Because the entire time that you'll be out there, you will be worried sick whether they're out running around on you. But regardless, everyone's got to be on the same page. Alright? They have to know that their entire life is getting ready to change. You're going to miss games and birthdays and all kinds of stuff. You're not going to be there a lot. Even if you drive for Maverick, you're going to be home 24 to 48 hours on the weekends, and that's 46 out of 52 weekends a year, okay? Unless you get some kind of dedicated run. My other suggestion, one of your number 1 priorities, is you've got to get your situation at home financially straightened out before you start this journey. So if you can just barely pay your bills now, or if you're paying your bills now but you have a much higher income than what you'll be paid when you start at Maverick or any other trucking company while you're in training, you got to get that shit taken care of. You got to pay off your debt. You need a savings, right? With the exception of maybe your house. With 3 to 6 months of living expenses stuck in the bank. Now you might think, oh my God, I'll never get into trucking. That's crap. Yes, you can. I've seen people pay off so much debt in so little time and put a savings away when they get focused and they make it their goal to do that. So you can go get 2 or 3 jobs, right? Work 90 hours a week and do it until you get your debt paid off and the savings if you're serious about getting into trucking. Cut off all expenses. Don't go anywhere. Don't eat out. Don't do anything. Eat just cheap food, no expenses, no extra stuff, no shopping, and pay off your stuff. You'll come out here, you'll have 1,000 pounds lifted off your chest. Too many people come out here and they can't afford it once they get into training, but they never put together a budget. They never knew what they had no clue what their monthly expenses were. And so they couldn't compare it to their monthly income that they were going to get. And that's my next suggestion. You have got to put together a budget before you leave the house for training. or to drive anywhere. You need a budget. You and your significant other, whether it's your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, have got to put together a budget and be on the same plan for finances. You have to know to the penny what it costs you to live every month at home. And you have to know to the penny what your income is going to be, so you know that your income will cover your living expenses. Do not come out here and not be able to pay your bills at home, or run up a bunch of debt on credit cards while you're out here trying to make it. It is a horrible idea. So if you're going to walk away from this with anything, one, make sure you trust your significant other and make sure they're on the same page before you leave. They've got to be okay with you not being home. And so do you. Two, make sure your finances are in order. You've got to have your finances in order before you come out here. And that includes, you have got to be on a written budget. You have to be. If you're not sure how to put one together, I would love to help you. All you got to do is shoot me a text, DM me on Instagram, or send me a comment on YouTube. I will sit down with you and I will put together a budget with you. I can teach you how to do it in a half hour. I've been doing it for years. Three, you have got to shop around for tuition. You cannot go to the first trucking school that you find. You should not pay more than $2,000 to $4,000 for trucking school tuition. And now here's the kicker. Take out a loan or pay for that up front, whichever you like, and then go find a company like Maverick who pays it back. And you don't pay anything out of pocket at the end of the day. That's the key to get out here and get into this for free. Don't do what I did. I took out a $10,000 loan when I was 21 to go to a trucking school. I never shopped around for any other trucking schools. And I went to this podunk trucking school in Kentucky, paid $10,000, and it took me like 3 years to pay that thing off. Do not do that.